Hi folks, well we got another beautiful day on the western slope here. Sun shining from above ground, a little hazy, a little cloudy, overcast, high overcast, but got great views. Every day's a good day. Some are just better than others. So let's, what are we going to do today? I've got a painting I've got to varnish, and I know there's a lot of talk about how to do that, what kind of varnish to use, when to do that. I've got some ideas, so let's go into the studio here and take a look, and I'll show you how I do it anyway. Okay, why do we varnish a painting? Well, primarily to keep it clean, or to keep it cleanable. In other words, a painting that's hanging on the wall is going to, over time, is going to get some dirt and dust on it, contaminants. I've cleaned the paintings that hung in coal-fired houses from back, 30, 40, 50 years ago. They get soot on them. But anyway, the varnish allows you to clean them. And cleaning is a whole nother subject for another video. And which reminds me, as I talk about things, if you have a suggestion for a video you'd like to see, leave it in the comments down below. If you have questions about what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments and I'll get to it. Alrighty, so the primary reason why we're varnishing a painting is to protect the surface so we can clean it. And by cleaning it, it can be as simple as just running a dust rag over it. No, I wouldn't use any of your Pledge, your dust sprays on a rag or anything. Just a clean, lint-free rag, dust it off. And if you need to, also if you're vacuuming and you got a brush on the end of your vacuum, you can run it over that surface, and that'll clean it just as well. If it's really dirty, we'll get into that in another video. The various products, what can be used to varnish a painting. You beginners, you probably need to pay attention here. Those who are seasoned vets at oil painting, I'm going to introduce you to a product that you might find beneficial. It was common practice in days of old to wait 6 months to a year to varnish a painting, and that was primarily to let it dry thoroughly all the way through, let it goes through the oxidation process and dries. Nowadays, we can maybe, depending on the product you use, move that along a little quicker. I use a product by the Gamblin company called GamVar. And what this does, it allows you to dry, Gamblin maintains that you can varnish a painting as soon as it's dry to the touch. Now I did this painting 3-4 weeks ago. It was the last time I put any paint on it, so it's well within that margin. I have, depending on how thick your paint is, within a week, kind of touch it and see, and it's dry, I go ahead and put a coat of varnish on it. But this is the product that I use. I'll put a link down in the bottom for you. And let's step over to the work table here, and I'll show you how I apply it and what the finish looks like. Now, the Gamblin company makes a couple brushes, primarily just specifically for this purpose. They've got a smaller one and a wider one. I like to use them. You can use any brush that you want, but I like to use the brush that they've provided. Well, they don't provide them, you got to buy them, but they work real well for my purpose anyway. So the way I like to do it is I just pour the varnish on here. Then I'll take the brush and just start moving it around. Now, one of the things that varnish will do besides protect the painting so that you can clean it is it saturates the colors. Now, I'm using a gloss varnish, and a lot of people don't like the sheen, but I do. And if you wanted to do a matte finish or more of a satin finish, I advise you to put a gloss coating on first and then add your matte finish down to the degree that you want it. The reason being is that in the matte varnishes, there's particulates in there that will, they dull it is what they do, and it's better to have the gloss on first and then follow it up with your matte so you don't lose any of the detail in your painting. I'm going to bring this camera around. You can see that has not been varnished and this has, and the difference that makes is just incredible, just beautiful. Vary your strokes, one way for a while. Then go the other way. Alrighty, there you go, folks. And I just wash out my brush in some mineral spirits. If you're watercolorists, painters out there, there's a way to varnish your watercolors also, and you don't have to put them under glass. I'll cover that in an upcoming video. Alrighty, folks, there you go. I think that's it for today. If you have any questions about what I did, what I showed you, leave them down in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you use. I'd be curious to what your experiences are. If you have a particular interest in a video that you'd like to see me do, a topic you'd like me to address, leave that down in the comments also. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And also, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. All right, until next. Oh yeah, your pro tip for the day. Photograph your painting before you varnish it. It'll have a nice matte finish on it before it's varnished, and you won't get a lot of glare when you're photographing it. Once you varnish it, you're going to get that glare. So remember, always remember to photograph your work before you varnish it. Until next time, be kind and stay curious. I'll see you again.